For to one is given word of wisdom through the Spirit. What is word of wisdom? The gift of word of wisdom is the ability to get direction from God through spiritual revelation. The ability to get direction from God through spiritual revelation, word of wisdom. You remember the story of Daniel? When the king had a dream and would not tell anybody the dream, asked the astrologer, the magicians, to tell him his dream and then interpret the dream. And he said, if you don't tell me my dream and interpret it, I will kill all of you. Not that I'll tell you the dream, you interpret it. No. You need to tell me the dream I dream. You didn't get what I just said? Kings are powerful. In those days, kings they are monarch. They don't go through Senate, they don't go through Congress. They just, where there's word of a king, there is power. Which has said, what where thou this thing? He says, I slept, I snore, and dreamt. Now, you have to tell me the dream I dream. Because if I tell you the dream I dream, you might come up with some crazy interpretation. But if you tell me the dream I dream, I know you know what you're talking about. And then the astrologer, the magician, the diviner said, this is, how are you going to tell us to interpret the dream? He didn't tell us. I said, you better tell me my dream, or you are going to lose your heads. And then they went to start killing them, and they went to Daniel, because Daniel in those days was the head of the wise men. And because they were in Babylon, they thought Daniel was also a magician, even though Daniel was operating with the gift of the Spirit. But he was in the marketplace, so they put him as they classify as one of the magicians. And Daniel said, chill now, calm down. Give us some time. Let me go to talk to my God. 3 days. He called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They went to pray. And through word of wisdom, God revealed to them what the dream the king had and gave them interpretation. Using spiritual gift to real life situation. And when Daniel told the king the dream, the king knew that Daniel knew what he was talking about, because it was only the king that knew his own dream. Right? It was only the king that knew his own dream. So the way the king tested them to see if their interpretation would be true is for them to first tell him his own dream. Daniel came by gift of word of wisdom. That's word of wisdom. He told the king the dream and gave him the interpretation. Remember the story of the king of the handwriting on the wall? Belshazzar, remember, mene, tekel, upharsin? And they don't know the meaning. They said, go and call for Daniel. He used to be your father's wise man. Because this is the grandchild of the king, the original king now. And by word of wisdom, Daniel was the only one that could interpret the handwriting on the wall. Mene, tekel, upharsin. That's word of wisdom. Then the Bible talk about, the next thing it talk about was verse 8, for one to one gave word of wisdom by the Spirit, to another he gave word of knowledge through the same Spirit. I'm going to stop here because I'll continue next week. Word of knowledge is the gift of knowing things supernaturally without being taught or without being told. You hear what I just said? Word of wisdom is getting direction from God through spiritual revelation. Interpreting deep things. If you see people that said they know how to interpret dreams, if they are born again, the gift of interpretation of dream is word of wisdom. If they are born again. If they are astrologers, if they are necromancing, that is magic. That is not God. But word of knowledge is knowing things supernaturally without being. Remember the story of Elisha. When the Assyrian king will be planning to destroy Israel, and Elisha will know what the king is planning in his closet. And Elisha will tell the secret of the king of Assyria to the king of Egypt. And the king of Egypt will circumvent every plan of the king of Syria. And the Assyrian king said, Who among you is a spy of the king of Israel? Because there are things I'm planning in my closet that I've not even discussed, and the king in the Israel already know, because they're already taking move to counteract it. Somebody is telling him what I'm doing. Remember, the servant said, no, nobody is telling the king of Israel what you are doing. There's a prophet in Israel. His name is Elisha. He can find out what you are doing in your bedroom. That is the gift of word of knowledge. Many times the Bible will say, and Jesus knew their heart. Remember that? Jesus will be preaching. They will say, Jesus will say something like, I am the Son of God. They say that they will say in their heart that how dare you call yourself the Son of God? Are you calling yourself God? And Jesus knew their heart, and we answer their question before they speak it. That's what the Bible calls the word of knowledge. Rise up on your feet. So next week, I'm going to explain the remaining 7 to you. So you have the word of wisdom, you have the word of knowledge, you have the gift of healing, you have the gift of faith, you have the gift of working of miracle, you have the gift of discerning spirit, you have the gift of tongues, you have the gift of interpretation of tongue, and there's one more missing. So it's word of wisdom, word of knowledge, faith, healing, miracle, prophecy. That's the gift of prophecy. All these spiritual gifts, as a child of God, each and every one of us has at least one. Your assignment is to discover that gift. Your assignment is to start using that gift. Some of you, when you dream, somebody can go to bank with it. You see things in dream, God shows you things in dream, and they come to pass. That gift of dream, that was a Joseph dream. Remember that? Joseph would dream and see. Joseph had the gift of what? It was the dreaming, and then we know the interpretation of dream. The dreaming itself, knowing things in the spirit, is word of knowledge. Interpreting it is word of wisdom. But many of you have ignored your dream. Many of you, before you start dating that man, you had a dream. You saw him in the dream, but you ignored the dream. Because you are desperate, you married him anyway. Or before you took that job, they dangle you a lot of money. You saw something, you had something, but you ignored it. You refuse to allow your gift to be profitable for you, and now you are in trouble. Many times, as a child of God, what you call intuition is word of knowledge. I just know. How do you just know? Word of knowledge. I will talk more about that next week. You have to make your gift profitable by using your gift to serve. I'm challenging you this morning, every one of you in this house, to begin to serve. Sitting down doing nothing, you are raising an indictment against yourself. Because there's a gift in your hand that God is waiting for you to use so that you can become profitable. If you are here this morning and what I'm saying makes sense to you, it's important for you to not let today pass without you doing something about it. Don't say, I'll do it tomorrow, I will think about it. You've been thinking about it for 24 years. Once you leave here, you get excited, get charged up. Once you get out there, life takes over. And you don't do anything. And then another month passed by, another year passed by. God is going to hold you accountable for your gift. Because He gave you to be profitable. And He's going to ask you what profit, how many people, who did you bless, which life did you change with your gift? So some of you need to step up by faith. Some of you need to come and talk to the pastor, Pastor Sunday, or leader of the church, whoever, to begin to help you step into your gift. Some of you, there are areas that God has been speaking to you, you've been talking about, you've been thinking about, you are not doing anything about it. You cannot say God didn't tell you. God is telling you. You are just ignoring it. Today, I want you to take a step towards using your gift. That means you write it down in a note, put it on your connection card that you are going to start using your gift. You want to serve in this area, call the pastor, talk to the church. Do what you have to do something about your gift. Because God is waiting. And who knows how many people life are waiting to be touched by your gift. It may not look like much to you. It might be a life-saving tool for other people that God gave you for.